everyone, welcome to another video. Now this time I'm recording the video about top paid tweaks on Cydia. So I've purchased them, I've tested them, so you don't have to. So let's dive into it right now. In the previous video I showed some useless tweaks according to myself. So I've pointed out several useless tweaks which I think they are contributing to the clutter on your phone. These 11 paid tweaks, some of them you might find useless, you might find very good, but I'm going to leave it up to you to select. I just want to add one important thing. Now all the paid tweaks which you can find on Cydia, mainly you can find them from 2 or 3 main repos like Packix, like Twickd, and similar repos. I have nothing against these repos. However, I have strong feeling against these corporate oriented projects. What do I mean by this? Initially, you could buy a tweak from a certain developer. You pay the tweak to the guy, he answers your emails. If you have any issues, you can contact them freely, etc., etc. Now, you buy it from a company, which is Packix. Of course, the developers are getting significant percentage of it, but the distance between the developer and the customer is increased, which is why whenever I have a comment or something, Packix, Twickd, nobody responds to my queries. So the business model gets alienated from people, which I don't like. Another thing is that we are all doing this for the almighty buck. Everybody is doing things for the profits. I have a hypothesis, which states you don't do stuff for the money. If you're doing things properly, money will come. So the money or the profit should not be the main motivator. It is a result or a measure of success. Having said that, I had recently from one of the subscribers, I had a comment that in one of my previous videos, the tweak record and play, which was on Packix repo, was removed. It's a very good tweak, which helps you to, you can screen record, plus we can hear the music in the background that you're playing in Apple Music or Spotify. However, this tweak has been removed recently. And instead we have Record Music Plus, which is a paid tweak. So they removed the free one, so you don't, so these tweaks do not cannibalize themselves. So there is no fair competition. If a developer wanted this tweak to be free and let it out there, why do you remove it and put a paid tweak instead? Okay, I had to get it off my chest. Now let's go into these tweaks that I prepared for you. So let's begin. The first tweak I want to talk about is called LockApps. This tweak had different versions throughout history. I mean not this specific tweak, but every iOS device, every jailbreak that came along had a certain tweak which did the same thing. So now for the iOS13, we have the paid tweak called LockApps. And what it does, what its name suggests, you select the apps you want to be locked by your fingerprint ID or your face ID, depending on the device you have. So LockApps tweak does the following. It locks your apps. You select the apps from here, from the settings, and you can select which app you want to be locked. For example, I've selected that I want Cydia to be opened only by me, and I've initiated a Face ID for this tweak. So what it does, you see, if you want to do it, if it doesn't recognize the face, it won't open, which is a very, very good thing. So if I move close by, let's see if it's going to recognize me. Great. So it does recognize me and it goes straight into the app. So the main functionality is the same for any app of your choosing. So this is LockApps. So the next tweak is Carbonite, and the functionality of this tweak, you will not find it in settings. The functionality of these tweaks is it's very straightforward. You can see from the photo. But when you do the reachability function, when you initiate reachability function in the settings, then when you go to accessibility, then you go to touch and you enable reachability, which means when you swipe down at the bottom of the screen, you can reach the upper corners of your device. But now, it remains empty over there. Now when I do this, you see, when you swipe down, you get these functions on the top of your screen, which is kind of cool. So, but however, these things you cannot change still. We hope that developer of the tweak will allow us that we change and we put things we want to have here in this reachability window. You swipe up and it goes back to normal. So that's Carbonite tweak. Following tweak actually tweaks your lock screen. So instead of classical look of the lock screen, you get the lock screen looking like this. So you can see I have the weather, I have the date and the time moved all to the left, and it looks nice. However, if you had the some notifications or some things in your calendar, also up next would be shown here. However, in this case, this tweak is called Kalm. I'll show you quickly. So tweak Kalm, it gives you two options. You can put weather or you can put up next on your lock screen. When I did this, I put calendar and reminders to be there. However, I still don't see anything. So I urge the developer of the tweak, maybe they need to do something about the tweak to update it, or maybe it clashes with some of my tweaks. Anyway, the idea is very nice, and it kind of resembles the tweak that we had, which is simple LS2, which is free on the other hand. But simple LS2 does not have this up next on the screen. So this is tweak Kalm. Another tweak which updates your lock screen is called QuickLS, and it will cost you $1 or $1, 0.99. This tweak gives extra functionality to your lock screen, and it does it very nicely. So you can see when I lock my device, when I unlock it, instead of those two icons which were always there, like the camera and the torch, now I have emails and I have my Apple Music. In either way, you click on it and it brings you to to your desired app that you designated in advance. So when you go to the settings of QuickLS, here you can dedicate any app which you want to the left button or to the right button. It's a very nice tweak, very, very useful, and I highly recommend this tweak. This tweak, its name says it all, kill background 13. So what it does, it kills all the apps in your background with one click, actually 2 clicks, and it's gonna cost you again $1. This one is compatible with iOS13. For the previous versions, you have kill background 10S or XS. So how does it work? You just do this and you swipe on the last one or any of these and you get this option, kill apps. There are a few configurations that you can do in the tweak settings, which is, where is it? Kill background 13. So you can do it with swipe down. You can remove this confirm to kill all. You can exclude music. For example, I don't want my music to be killed when I do this because I might be playing it in my car. And you can select separate apps which you don't want to be killed once you kill all of the background. So these are very nice, neat features. Again, this tweak used to exist as a free version. Now it's very difficult to find a decent free version, so I recommend if you need this, you should buy it for $0.99. The next tweak is called Tacitus, or Tacitus, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. The Tacitus tweak is related to your Bluetooth connectivity. So whenever you connect to a certain Bluetooth device on your Apple device or your jailbroken iPhone, you can select which of these animations you want to see. You have the classic one, you have the modern one, which I prefer, and you have the very, very small one, which I don't like. So, and you can also opt between dark and light options. Also, there are other options that you can configure. You can also override default name of the Bluetooth, but it's experimental feature. In my case, it does not work still. So this is very, very, very cool tweak. Let me try now with my Bluetooth small speaker that I have here, which is JBL Go. Let me see if it's gonna connect. I turned it on. Let's see if we'll have the. Okay. Nothing happens on it. It's connected. Okay, it's connected now. Hello, I paid money for this tweak. It's not really working, but I guess there might be a clash with some of my tweaks, or maybe it's just not optimized yet. Just as I showed you, the tweak is Tacitus. I don't want to spend any more time on it since it's not working. This is how it should look like when you connect. However, it does work on my when I connect it to my car, but now it seems like it's not working. Maybe I didn't set it up properly. Anyway, that's Tacitus. The next tweak I want to talk about is called SmartNetwork. The SmartNetwork tweak, it's a very useful tweak, especially for those of you who want to keep track of your mobile data usage. It helps you manage your Wi-Fi connections and LTE connections much smarter. So as you can see, you can turn off the data once you lock your device. You can disable the data in the background being spent. You can turn off the Wi-Fi once you lock the device. You can disable mobile data on when you have low power mode, and it can notify you for whenever it changes the connection from one Wi-Fi to another. So this is very useful. I don't recommend you toggling this on because you will get many notifications and it can be really annoying. There are also many other useful tools here that you can use. However, there is another thing I need to point out. Once you install the tweak from the CDA, you will get this app together with the tweak. This is a Wi-Fi list. So it gives you all the passwords of all the Wi-Fis you previously connected to. So it's a very useful tweak. And I do recommend it for those of you who need to pay attention about usage and how much you spend on your mobile plans every month. Another tweak that I'm going to talk about is called CustomLock 2. So the CustomLock 2 tweak, its name suggests what it does. It customizes your lock screen. And this is how my lock screen looks like now. So when you see it, as you can see, the font is different, everything is moved to the right, and my date is very small. Once you go to the settings of CustomLock 2, you have very few options, general options. So first you enable a tweak, then you have general options. In general options, I turned on the custom font. That's why the font looks different than the basic one. And you can align wherever you want the time and the date. When you go back in the date options, you can choose the format, you can choose the date size, and finally in the time options, you have several options that you can configure. This is very nice, very straightforward tweak, and I really like it. It's very simplistic. The next tweak is MOT, M-O-T. The tweak gives you the overview of the weather in the next 5 days on your lock screen. And in the settings of the tweak, you can enable, disable the tweak. You can use the current location always as it is used in the weather app, or you can set a preset location, which is a custom location. You can select units, how the update, how long does it take to update, like you have minutely, hourly, daily. You can choose how it will look like, whether it's going to be dark mode, whatever. So I've tried to enable this tweak, but unfortunately I wasn't successful. So what do I get currently? This is it. So you see here I should have the weather forecast, but it's not working. It says unknown conditions. I've tried restarting it. I tried reinstalling the tweak, but I cannot get it working. Actually, this is Twickd repo, and this is how it should look like when you manage to get it working. Maybe it's a clash with some of my tweaks. I don't know. It used to work, and all of a sudden it does not work. So anyway, it looks pretty nice. It reminds me of the old tweak called Forecast, but in Forecast you had the weather forecast down below. Here you have it in the middle of the screen. Anyway, this is MOT, $2. The next tweak I want to show you is called the Tritium tweak, and you can purchase it for $2.5, $2.49, and it gives you an option to have an always-on display, and it looks really cool on your OLED devices, which have really dark screen. What does it do? Here's how it looks like. This is the basic setting for the Twickd. So it gives you always on display, and it gives you the time and the date if you want to do it. So it's pretty cool Twickd. And however, you have to pay attention. The Twickd might consume your battery a little bit. So be careful how you use the Twickd. Now, few things about what do they have in settings. As you can see, let me go to Tritium. Tritium has basic settings, very straightforward. They have very nice feature here, estimating battery life, around 14 hours if you use these settings. You have very important thing, which is display color mode, so in order of battery impact. So apparently red consumes the least of your battery, so that's why I have it on. You can choose to turn date label on and off, and other things. Also, this Twickd can be very useful for third-party tweaks, where you can have them combined with something else. The last Twickd that I want to share with you guys, of course not the least, is called Lynx. This Twickd is, let's say, a different version of the old Twickd. Those of you who are in the jailbreak community for longer, you remember Springtomize 1, 2, 3. So this is the Twickd that does something similar. It gives you the device customization across all possible, areas of customizing device. The first thing you can notice here is that badge has a blue color, which is linked to the color of the icon. So it gives you this customization. Also, there are many different things that you can customize on your phone, which is pretty cool. However, this is demanding Twickd, so pay attention. It might, crash your device if you have too many other Twicks installed. So if you want customization, I highly recommend Lynx, because you can do all in one. So system-wide customizations, dark mode, you can customize the dark mode, which apps you want to have them dark all the time, which ones light. Hide background of the dock, you can have customized number of icons in your dock, of course. Hide home bar, all sorts of different customizations. So in the Twickd settings, as you can see, we have the option, for example, to close automatically the folder. I don't know if this means anything to you, but once you start an app from any folder, like clock app, when you leave the app, you see the folder is closed. Usually it stays open until you finish what you're doing. Another system-wide customizations, you see you don't have page dots. Like here, I don't have page dots on my pages. Also on the lock screen, you can hide the time, you can hide the grabber, you can hide battery view, you can do many things and customize them in different way. Then you have the app switcher. For example, I like this one style to use the iPad style, so it looks like this when you have your app switcher on. Then what else we have? Let me just, okay, so you can prevent killing in the background those apps which are playing music, for instance. Then you can change things in the status bar, which means here, up there. What else do we have? Control center, you can again hide some things. So in messages, I don't know, there are plenty of different things that you can, yes, about settings. So you can show the IP address of your Wi-Fi instead of its name. In photos, you can use infinite zoom, which means that you can really zoom into some photos. Safari table, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is very nice. I don't use arcade. I think it's ridiculous, and I'm too old for it. So I don't like that arcade button in my App Store app. So for all of us who don't like that arcade button down there, thanks to Lynx, we can just replace it with updates like it was before. So it brings you to your updates, and you can see what you updated recently, or maybe you can update new things. And other customizations, you have in camera, use the iPad style camera, which means that you will have the clicker, the shutter button on the right. What else? I don't know, phone button. You can hide the voicemail tab. Yeah, this is very good. I like this one, that you can show, it can show you exact time of your call, not just yesterday, whatever. And for those of you who use CarPlay, you can have this hide icon labels option on. And that's pretty much it. So make sure that when you install the tweak and you do something with it, you click apply in order for the changes to take effect.